I found the apartment on a Tuesday. It was late September, and I'd been searching for 3 weeks straight. Every listing in Akron was either a dump or way out of my budget. I was getting desperate. My lease in Columbus was up in 10 days, and I'd already started the new job. Sleeping in my car wasn't exactly an option. Then I saw it. 1 bedroom in Highland Square. $750 a month. That's not normal. Not for that neighborhood. Highland Square is nice. Coffee shops, breweries, young professionals. You don't find anything under $1,200 there. Ever. But I called anyway. The landlord picked up on the second ring. His name was Dennis. Older guy, sounded tired. Said the place just opened up and I could see it that afternoon if I wanted. I wanted. I drove up from Columbus in the rain. The building was this old brick walk-up on a quiet street. Trees everywhere, kind of beautiful actually. Dennis was waiting outside, hands in his pockets, collar up against the drizzle. He didn't say much, just nodded, unlocked the front door, and led me upstairs. Second floor, apartment 2B. When he opened the door, it looked perfect. Hardwood floors, big windows. The kitchen was a little dated but clean. The bedroom had good light. There was even this little alcove that would have been perfect for a home office. "Why is it so cheap?" I asked. Dennis shrugged. "Building's old, plumbing can be temperamental. I keep the rent fair." I should have asked more questions. I should have, but I was running out of time, and honestly, I just wanted to believe him. I signed the lease that night, moved in 6 days later. The first week was fine, normal. I unpacked, set up my furniture, got into a routine with work. The apartment was quiet. The neighbors kept to themselves. I thought I'd lucked out. Then, little things started happening. It was small stuff at first. I'd come home and the bathroom door would be open. I knew I'd closed it that morning. I'm weird about that. Always have been. But I figured maybe I'd just forgotten. Then it was the kitchen. I'd find cabinet doors open. The silverware drawer pulled out an inch or two. One time the fridge door wasn't fully closed, just slightly ajar. Enough that the light was on inside. I started thinking maybe I was losing it. Stress from the new job, new city. Maybe I was just tired and not paying attention. But then I started noticing the smells. It's hard to describe. It wasn't like rot or garbage or anything obvious. It was more like someone else's presence. You know how every person has a scent? Not cologne or perfume, just their smell. There was a smell in my apartment that wasn't mine. It was faint. I'd catch it in the hallway sometimes, or in the bathroom after I got home from work. Kind of musty, kind of sour, like someone who hadn't showered in a while. And I'd smell it in the morning too. That's what really got to me. I'd wake up and smell it, like someone had been standing near my bed while I slept. I started sleeping with my bedroom door closed, then locked. One night, maybe 3 weeks in, I woke up at 2 a.m. I don't know what woke me, but I was suddenly awake. Heart pounding. That feeling you get when your body knows something's wrong before your brain catches up. I laid there in the dark, listening, and I heard it. A creak, not the building settling, not pipes. A creak like someone stepping on a floorboard. In my living room. I didn't move, I just laid there, barely breathing, straining to hear. Another creak, closer to my bedroom. Then, nothing. I waited for maybe 10 minutes. Then I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and opened my bedroom door. The living room was empty. Everything exactly where I'd left it. Front door locked, chain on. But the smell was stronger. I checked every room, the closets, under the bed, behind the shower curtain. Nothing. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. The next day at work, I couldn't focus. I kept thinking about that smell. Those footsteps. I tried to rationalize it. Old building, thin walls. Maybe I was hearing the neighbors. But apartment 2B was on the corner. I only had one neighbor, and I'd never even seen them. That night, I came home and stopped in the hallway before unlocking my door. I just stood there, listening, and I swear, I heard something inside, like movement, soft, deliberate. I unlocked the door fast and pushed it open. Nothing. But the smell hit me immediately, stronger than ever. I walked through the apartment. Everything looked normal. But then I noticed something. My laptop was open. I'd left it closed that morning. I was sure of it. I checked the browser history. Nothing new. But still, someone had opened it. I called Dennis. He didn't answer. I left a voicemail. "Hey, it's me from 2B. Has anyone else been in my apartment? Maintenance or something? Call me back." He didn't call back that day, or the next. On Friday, I found the bread. I'd bought a loaf earlier that week, kept it on the counter in a bag. When I got home from work, I went to make a sandwich. The bag was open, 2 slices were missing. I stood there staring at it, trying to remember if I'd eaten them and just forgotten. But I hadn't. I'd been eating out most of the week. Someone had been in my apartment, eating my food. I checked the front door, locked. Checked the windows, locked. Then I checked the bedroom closet, and I saw something I'd never noticed before. There was a small door at the back of the closet, maybe 2 feet by 2 feet. I thought it was just part of the wall, but when I pushed on it, it moved. It wasn't locked. It wasn't even latched. I pulled it open. Inside was a crawl space. It was dark, but I could see it extended back into the wall. There was insulation, old wooden beams, and something else. A blanket, a plastic water bottle, an empty bag of chips. Someone had been in there. My hands started shaking. I backed out of the closet, pulled out my phone, and called 911. The police came within 20 minutes. 2 officers. I showed them the crawl space, showed them the food, told them about the noises, the smells, the open laptop. They took it seriously. They went into the crawl space with flashlights. One of them was in there for maybe 5 minutes. When he came out, his face was tense. "You need to pack a bag," he said. "Stay somewhere else tonight." "Why? What did you find?" He hesitated. "There's evidence someone's been living in your walls. We found more blankets, food wrappers, a flashlight, and what?" "Pictures," he said quietly, "of you, sleeping." I felt my stomach drop. They searched the whole building, checked every crawl space, every vent, every access point. They found more signs, footprints in the dust, a makeshift bed between the walls on the 3rd floor. But no person. Whoever it was, they were gone. The police told me to stay with a friend. They'd do another sweep in the morning. They took statements, dusted for prints, the whole thing. But I could tell they didn't think they'd catch whoever it was. I stayed at a motel that night. Didn't sleep, just sat on the bed with the lights on, staring at the door. The next day, the police called. They'd found more. Whoever had been living in the walls had access to most of the building. They'd been using the ventilation shafts to move between apartments. Mine wasn't the only one. But here's the thing that really messed me up. They found a journal, tucked into one of the crawl spaces. Pages and pages of handwritten notes about me, my schedule, when I left for work, when I came home, what I ate, what I watched on TV. There were drawings too, sketches of my apartment, of me sitting on the couch, of me sleeping. The last entry was dated the day before the police came. It said, "He knows. Time to move." They never found who it was. No prints matched anyone in the system. Nothing. The landlord, Dennis, claimed he had no idea. Said he'd never been told about anyone accessing the crawl spaces. The building was old. Lots of access points he didn't even know about. He offered to let me out of the lease. I was gone that same day. I moved across town. Different neighborhood, new building. I changed my routines. Checked every closet, every vent, every corner before I even brought my stuff in. But here's the thing I can't shake. About 2 months after I moved, I got a text from an unknown number. It just said, "I like the old place better." I blocked it immediately, changed my number the next day. But sometimes, late at night, I still smell it. That same smell. And I don't know if it's just in my head, or if they found me again. I check the vents now. Every single night, I check the closets. I check behind the shower curtain, because the worst part isn't that someone was living in my walls. The worst part is, I don't think they ever really left.